Ladies and gentlemen, if there's one thing I've learned in over 4 decades of study, reflection, and personal development, it is this: discipline is the foundation of all success. Discipline is everything. Without it, dreams fade, intentions weaken, and potential goes unrealized. Let me be very clear. We all start with a dream, a hope, a vision, but what turns that dream into reality? Not luck, not timing, not talent alone, no. It's discipline. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and results. It's the crucial factor that transforms abstract hopes into concrete accomplishments. You can have a powerful vision, a burning desire, and even immense talent, but without discipline, all of that remains potential energy, never converted into real momentum. Discipline is what separates the people who simply wish from those who actually achieve. A dream by itself is exciting. It gives us a sense of purpose. It paints a beautiful picture of what life could look like, but dreaming alone never moved the needle. It's easy to dream when you're inspired. It's easy to set goals when you're excited. The challenge comes when the excitement wears off, when distractions creep in, when resistance shows up. That's where discipline becomes the deciding factor. Discipline is not glamorous. It doesn't look impressive on social media. It's often lonely, quiet, and uncelebrated. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep in. It's going to the gym even when your body is tired. It's choosing a healthy meal when junk food is more tempting. It's sitting down to study or work when no one is watching. That's the truth about discipline. It demands effort in moments when it would be easier to give in. People often assume that those who succeed are simply more motivated or more naturally gifted. But in reality, what makes them different is their willingness to stay committed long after the feeling of motivation is gone. Motivation is a spark, it gets you going, but discipline is the engine. It keeps you moving forward mile after mile, day after day, through boredom, frustration, and fatigue. You see, dreams are not reached in one leap. They are built brick by brick through daily choices. Discipline is the habit of doing what needs to be done even when it's inconvenient. It's about becoming the kind of person who does hard things, not just once, but consistently. It's training your mind to choose long-term reward over short-term comfort, and that's where the real transformation happens. Discipline strengthens your self-image. When you follow through on your commitments, you start to see yourself differently. You begin to believe that you're reliable, capable, trustworthy. That belief multiplies. You start setting bigger goals, taking on more responsibility, and stepping into your full potential, not because everything got easier, but because you got stronger. But let's be honest, it's not always perfect. You'll slip, you'll miss days, you'll feel discouraged. That's okay. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about resilience. It's about bouncing back quickly. One missed workout doesn't define you. One mistake doesn't undo your progress. What matters is your ability to get back on track, recommit, and keep moving. There's an old saying, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. That's the essence of discipline. It shapes not just your actions, but your entire identity over time. Every act of discipline is a vote for the person you want to become. So if you have a dream, protect it with discipline. Build a routine around it, guard your time, eliminate distractions, push through the discomfort. Because in the end, it's not the size of your dream that matters. It's the strength of your discipline. That's the bridge. That's the difference. And that's the secret that turns vision into victory. The beginning of any journey toward meaningful success starts with a powerful why. It's not just about what you want to achieve. It's about why it matters to you. Without a strong reason behind your actions, even the best plans will collapse under pressure. But when your why is strong enough, it gives you fuel that discipline alone sometimes can't provide. It becomes your inner compass, your anchor, your power source in the moments when things get hard, when you feel like quitting, or when the results are taking longer than expected. Every great achievement starts with a personal reason. It might be the desire to provide a better life for your family, to rise above your past, to prove something to yourself, or simply to become the person you know you were meant to be. That reason, your why, gives your goals meaning. And when something has deep meaning to you, you are far more likely to commit to it with everything you've got. It's easy to get excited about a goal when it's new. That's the honeymoon phase, when emotions are high, energy is up, and the path feels clear. But what happens when the obstacles show up, when the schedule gets tight, or people don't support you, or progress slows down? That's where the strength of your why gets tested. If your reasons are shallow, like impressing others or chasing temporary excitement, you'll find it hard to stay committed. But if your reasons are deep, personal, and emotionally charged, they become a source of strength. A strong why creates inner resilience. Think about it. People will do far more for others than they'll do for themselves. A parent who struggles to wake up early for their own goals will suddenly find boundless energy when their child needs something. Why? Because their why is rooted in love and responsibility. It's not about convenience anymore. It's about commitment. That kind of emotional drive is what keeps people going through pain, fatigue, and uncertainty. Your why doesn't have to be dramatic or world-changing, but it does have to matter to you. It has to be personal and real, and you need to remind yourself of it constantly. Write it down, say it out loud, visualize it every day, because the world is full of distractions, reasons to quit, to settle, to stay comfortable. Your why has to be louder than those excuses. It has to pull you forward, even when you don't feel like moving. There's another benefit to having a clear why. It helps you say no. In a world of endless options and distractions, discipline isn't just about what you say yes to. It's about what you say no to. When you know what matters most, you can stop wasting time on what doesn't. You stop chasing every shiny object or comparing yourself to everyone else. You get focused. You get intentional. You stop drifting and start driving your life in a clear direction. And here's the truth. Your why may evolve over time. As you grow, your values might shift, and your priorities might change. That's okay. What matters is that you always stay connected to a purpose that resonates deeply with you in each season of your life. Keep checking in with it. Keep refining it. The clearer your why, the stronger your drive. At the end of the day, when the excitement wears off and the road gets long, it's not discipline alone that keeps you going. It's the meaning behind the mission. It's the purpose behind the plan. It's the fire in your belly that reminds you why you started in the first place. So if you're struggling to stay committed, don't just push harder. Pause, reconnect with your why. Remind yourself what's at stake, what it means, and who you're doing this for. Because when your why is strong enough, the how always finds a way. Long-term discipline doesn't come from a single act of willpower. It's forged in the quiet, repetitive choices you make every day. Success is rarely the result of a single moment of brilliance or a huge breakthrough. Instead, it's built slowly and methodically through daily habits. The people we admire for their focus, consistency, and success didn't just wake up that way. They built it day by day through small disciplines that compounded over time. Daily habits are the training ground for self-mastery. They're where discipline is refined. Each time you make your bed in the morning, go for that walk, turn down the junk food, or sit down to read instead of scrolling endlessly on your phone, you are casting a vote for the kind of person you want to be. Those actions may seem small in the moment, even trivial, but over weeks, months, and years, they become the building blocks of your character. What makes habits so powerful is that they reduce the need for decision-making. When something becomes a habit, it's no longer a question of whether or not you'll do it. It becomes automatic. That's why the disciplined person often appears to have more willpower. In reality, they've simply structured their life in a way where good choices are the default. They don't waste mental energy debating whether to wake up early or not. It's just what they do. This is critical to understand. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. You can have big dreams, a powerful why, and all the motivation in the world, but if your daily habits don't support those dreams, they'll remain out of reach. Habits are the system that brings your goals to life. But building daily discipline doesn't mean making massive changes all at once. In fact, that approach usually backfires. Lasting change comes from starting small, tiny behaviors that are easy to do and repeat consistently. Start with 1 push-up, 1 glass of water, 5 minutes of journaling, 10 minutes of reading. When you prove to yourself that you can follow through, even in small things, your confidence begins to grow. You start to see yourself differently. You begin to identify as someone who follows through, who takes care of their mind and body, who keeps promises to themselves. And that identity shift is everything. Discipline is not just about actions, it's about becoming. The more you repeat a habit, the more you reinforce the belief that you are a disciplined person. This is why habits are so much more powerful than bursts of motivation. Motivation is emotional and temporary. Habits are structural and enduring, but let's be real. Building habits takes time. You'll miss days. You'll feel resistance. That's normal. The goal isn't perfection, it's persistence. One missed day doesn't break you. What breaks people is the story they tell themselves after they stumble. I'm not consistent. I always quit. But if you shift that story and say, okay, I missed today, but I'm back at it tomorrow, you reclaim your power. That's how you make discipline stick. You treat it like a process, not a test of your worth. Also, environment matters. If your surroundings constantly trigger distraction, temptation, or stress, even the strongest habits will struggle. Set your environment up for success. Put your workout clothes out the night before. Keep healthy food visible. Remove distractions from your workspace. Make it easier to do the right thing and harder to do the wrong thing. That's not cheating, it's smart. Discipline doesn't have to be painful, it just has to be intentional. Ultimately, the difference between where you are and where you want to be is found in your daily routine. If you want better results, build better habits, not for a week, not for a month, but for life. When you build a structure of discipline into your day, success becomes inevitable, and it all starts with what you choose to do today. Discipline doesn't thrive in isolation. It grows in the right environment and under the right mindset. You can have the strongest willpower and the clearest goals, but if your surroundings constantly pull you off track or your mindset is working against you, staying disciplined becomes a daily uphill battle. That's why shaping your environment and training your mindset are just as important as setting goals or creating routines. They are the invisible forces that either support your discipline or sabotage it. Think about your physical environment first. The space you live and work in sends constant signals to your brain. A cluttered room can create mental chaos. A kitchen full of junk food makes it harder to eat clean. A phone filled with distracting apps makes deep work nearly impossible. The truth is, even the most determined person will struggle to stay on track in a poorly designed environment. That's not weakness, it's psychology. We're all influenced by the cues around us, so the smart move isn't to try harder, it's to make it easier to succeed. If you want to read more, keep books visible and within reach. If you want to work out consistently, lay out your gear the night before or keep your gym bag in the car. If you're trying to focus at work, clean up your workspace, silence notifications, and remove digital distractions. Set your space up to serve your goals, not sabotage them. You don't need to rely on willpower when your environment is working for you. But beyond the physical, there's another environment that matters even more, your social environment. The people you surround yourself with shape your habits, your beliefs, and your standards. Spend time with disciplined, focused individuals, and you'll find yourself naturally leveling up. On the other hand, if you're constantly around people who make excuses, procrastinate, or undermine your goals, you'll begin to reflect those same behaviors, often without realizing it. Jim Rohn once said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." It's a truth that cuts deep. Discipline is contagious, so is laziness. Choose your circle wisely. You don't have to cut people out of your life, but you do need to protect your energy and prioritize time with those who inspire you to stay committed to your growth. Now, let's talk about mindset, your mental framework. The way you think about discipline either empowers you or limits you. If you see discipline as punishment or restriction, you'll resist it. If you believe you're someone who always fails, or that you're just not a disciplined person, those thoughts will become self-fulfilling. On the other hand, if you view discipline as a form of self-respect, as something that leads to freedom and strength, you'll start to embrace it. Mindset isn't about pretending everything is easy. It's about choosing a perspective that supports your progress. A growth mindset is essential. That means believing that you can improve, that effort leads to results, and that failure is part of the process, not the end of it. People with a fixed mindset see a mistake as evidence that they're not good enough. People with a growth mindset see it as feedback, as part of the learning curve. If you want to stay disciplined long term, you have to think like a learner. You have to be okay with falling down as long as you keep getting back up. And remember, your self-talk matters. The way you speak to yourself during tough moments either builds you up or breaks you down. Replace thoughts like "I can't do this" with "this is hard, but I'm capable," instead of "I always quit." Say, "I'm still learning how to stay consistent." Your words become your beliefs become your behavior. And your behavior determines your results. Discipline isn't just about grit. It's about setting yourself up for success, externally and internally. When your environment supports your habits and your mindset supports your effort, discipline becomes less of a struggle and more of a rhythm. You don't have to force it. You simply live it every day, automatically. And that's how real transformation happens. Discipline is not a punishment. It's a pathway. It's the quiet daily choice to become more than you were yesterday. It's the structure that supports your dreams, the force that carries you through the chaos, and the foundation for lasting self-respect. When you choose discipline, you choose growth. You choose clarity. You choose to no longer be controlled by moods, distractions, or excuses. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Every time you show up when you don't feel like it, every time you follow through on what you said you'd do, whether or not anyone is watching, you are shaping a future version of yourself that is stronger, wiser, and more capable. Remember this: discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about getting back up every time you slip. It's about learning, adjusting, and moving forward, no matter how small the step. Every great life is built on the shoulders of small, disciplined actions repeated over time. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for motivation to show up. Choose discipline. Start today. Start now, because in the end, the life you want isn't found in what you hope for. It's found in what you're willing to work for. Discipline is everything. Thank you.